Welcome, Dynex community. Thank you for attending the strategic roadmap presentation of Dynex 2024. It's stunning to see how many people of you have joined to listen to our announcements that are being made. Today marks a key moment in our history. We started off as a crazy bunch, thinking the unthinkable and trying to make the unthinkable visible, in the sense of many years of development, of great minds collaborated to make happen what you see today being Dynex. We have now evolved to become an enterprise, a stunning enterprise with a leadership team that will spearhead the entry into the market arena. And I'm proud to be part of this leadership team. My name is Daniela Herman. I'm the co-founder of Dynex, the mission leader of Dynex Moonshots. I am a serial entrepreneur dedicated to sustainable practices, and my expertise lies in almost 3 decades of experience in investment, sustainability, and technological innovation. I am happy to now introduce the leadership team with stunning backgrounds that will help us push the boundaries of technology, developing further Dynex as a sustainable, secure, and accessible innovation. We have Adam Newman, Global Head of Innovation and Science. With a PhD in Artificial Intelligence and Neuromorphic Networks, Adam has been instrumental in shaping Dynex's approach to AI, neuromorphic computing, and quantum algorithms. His work marked by numerous peer-reviewed publications underpins our innovation strategies and scientific endeavors. Clifford Mapp, Global Head of Ecosystem Development Information Security. A recognized authority in blockchain and IT security, Clifford's pioneering work has been critical in developing Dynex's secure and robust technological ecosystem. His expertise ensures the integrity and resilience of our platforms and services. Charles Newton Price, Global Head of Business Development and Partnerships. Charles' extensive experience as a technology professional and entrepreneur enhances our business development strategies. His leadership is pivotal in forging strategic partnerships and expanding Dynex's presence in the global market. We have Ivan Petlioka, Global Head of Platform Development. Ivan's deep knowledge in commercial development, blockchain, and DeFi is vital to the continuous evolution of Dynex's platform. His contributions have been central to our innovation in financial technologies and services. Onur Öztaşıkıran, Global Head of Design. With nearly 2 decades of experience in design, Onur's expertise in human interface, product, and experience design is crucial in making our technologies accessible and user-friendly. His leadership ensures that design remains at the heart of our innovation process. Davy DeCourt, Global Head of Support. Davy's experience in digital assets, tokenization, and cryptography supports Dynex's commitment to secure reliable services. His leadership in support operations enhances our customer experience and trust. Gregory Carson, Advisor, Strategic Affairs. As the Managing Director of Humla Ventures, Greg brings a wealth of experience in company building, investments, and strategic partnerships. His insights are invaluable in navigating technological changes and scaling operations. Daniel Wojciech, Advisor, Technology and Research. Revered as one of the original godfathers of algorithms, Daniel's 18-year at senior executives level in companies like Microsoft and as a core text developer brings a level of technical mastery and insight that is rare and invaluable. Monica Kindle, Managing Director, Head of Administrations. Monica's decades-long experience in administration ensure the smooth operation of Dynex's daily activities and support the overall efficiency effectiveness of our team. This gives you a good insight of what caliber Dynex's leadership team is presenting to you, and also gives you insight into the Dynex culture. Now, why, when we were this loose project, why did we actually position ourselves where we position ourselves today? This is going back to the Moore's Law. The Moore's Law that was saying that over a couple of years, every couple of years, we have twice as fast the computers that will be available. And we will have a certain double of computing power available. This is coming to an end. We are hitting here a roof. The demand for computing power is growing exponentially. And if you see that, for example, with ChatGPT, we do not have sufficient computing power to enable this, what needs to be researched, what needs to be served to the public for use. So wanting to solve these problems, at that time, the LOOSE project focused on quantum computing. Quantum computing is unlike traditional computing, where you use the bits that are either 0 or 1, you use them simultaneously, and you are able to transport incredible information simultaneously. Now, with quantum computing, the different possibilities you have can come to their limits related to temperature, number of qubits, or correction errors. So what we did is we focused at the end on neuromorphic quantum computing. And as you can see, by far, this is the most fastest solution of all three demonstrated on this slide. Neuromorphic quantum computing is a result of decades of research. We had one project, which is the so-called CORDIS project, that was granted by the EU, where the ETH and the University of Delft and IBM and Volkswagen were involved, with more than 18 scientific papers that were produced. A technology with you can say limitless potential has emerged. But that technology was not yet publicly available. Dynex is the world's only accessible neuromorphic quantum computing cloud for solving real-world problems at scale today. And having said that, I am very happy to hand over to my colleague, Charles, who will help us enter into the arena, into the global market arena, and help us scale quantum computing and Dynex.
Thank you, Daniela. I'm very excited. And thank you, everybody, for attending and to be part of this magical moment of launching the next phase of Dynex. To start, I want to let you get to know me a little more. So let me start with a story. Not long ago, I was doing a master's in electrical engineering, and I faced a problem. I was given thousands of signals of data, and all of this data had a task of trying to find a pattern. And it was, at the time, I tried every possible tool available, and nothing worked. I could not find a pattern. I could not do anything with this data. So I had to think out of the box. So I jumped into the world of neural networks and into the world of chaos theory. I fostered partnerships with universities, other students around the world, and we came together, made some algorithms, and the end result was that I had 30 computers in this big room running 8 hours a day for 90 days and manually extracting the data one by one. So imagine my surprise when I realized that this quantum computing is now real and is here, and it could have helped me do all of that work in a few seconds. So with that, my life evolved away from that lab, and I ended up turning into a serial entrepreneur, trying out many industries. I started in telecom, and I happened to be at the genesis of voice over IP. Later on, I ended up in Wi-Fi, and being one of the first ones trying to introduce Wi-Fi into shopping malls, stores, when it was the genesis of this. I ended up in manufacturing, developing and helping part of and expanding the market for pipes. So that was an interesting side thing. And then I ended up in fintech, being one of the pioneers in helping to decentralize financial services, and even touched healthcare. No, so this is just a few of the things that I've been touching. And with that, let me introduce you what we're going to be doing with Dynex. The last point that Daniela made was quantum computing is yet to reach the public. And that is a very important point. I didn't even know it was available. What we're doing is we're going to leverage and we're going to target those who are using quantum computing today, which is the global 2,000 companies. Global 2,000 companies, every one of them has a strategy or is about to implement a strategy on quantum computing. And they are developing these strategies together with advisory and consulting firms. Some of these advisory and consulting firms you can see below: Accenture, BCG, Booz Allen, Reply, Deloitte. All of these have quantum teams that are helping these companies get into quantum computing. It is through them that we're going to reach and create our market. We are developing an official Dynex system integrator program, and it is and through this we're going to be reaching and starting with the key consulting firms. Why are these consulting firms going to work with Dynex and us? The reason is because Dynex is the fastest, most accessible, and cost-effective solution for reaching quantum computing. And what this means to these global 2,000 companies and any new customers, it means that they can solve more problems and get more customers. Our plan is to have 4 customers, 4 partners by the end of the year, 2 by Q2, 1 in Q3, and 1 in Q4. In parallel to this, we're not forgetting the hardware partners who are helping us expand our Dynex ecosystem. So we're creating an independent neuromorphic quantum computing consortium. And this team is going to be part of NVIDIA, the big chip manufacturers. So stand by for more news about this. This will be coming soon. So which industry sectors are we first going to target together with these partners? We're looking into artificial intelligence, pharmaceuticals, financial services, automotive, super sports, aerospace. You can read there, even telecommunications. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go deep into 3 specific examples, and I'm quite excited to tell you that 2 of them are already evaluating with Dynex, and another one of these partners has already used Dynex. So let's start with the first one, which is Novartis. For those who don't know what Novartis is one of the largest pharmaceuticals in the planet, billions of dollars in sales, and spending lots of money in research and development. This pharmaceutical, there is a challenge they currently have, which is to increase, everybody wants to make more money, and is to add additional revenue sources. With Dynex, a way that they can make additional revenue sources is to repurpose, reuse the existing drugs they have to cure other ailments. And in order to do that, they need to model in 3D the molecules that are part of our body and try to match it with the effects of the drug. And Dynex is the perfect partner for that and to achieve this. The second company that is evaluating us at this moment is Telefónica. Telefónica is one of the largest telecoms in the planet as well. They are all over mostly, they're based in Spain, South America, different places. They give us our 5G signal to connect and chat. the challenge they have is always they need to increase their coverage and provide the best coverage at the best cost for their network. And to do that, they spend time modeling these locations together with a number of variables. With Dynex, they're able to finally incorporate variables they could not ever even think of incorporating in their analysis. And they're coming up with solutions that are new for them. So we're looking forward to what's going to go next with Telefonica. And finally, Mapufin is a financial services company, and they have actually launched a quantum-based portfolio optimization. They implemented it. So what they've done is, when you look at the number of companies available to invest, none of us can actually pick or look at all of them. So with Dynex, we're able to take a pool of all of them, analyze all of them, and look at the best parameters and optimize the risk to return ratios. And voila, and you create an incredible portfolio for their customers. So this is just the beginning. This is just some use cases. Those are some of the companies, and we're looking forward to sharing more with you in the coming months. And with that, I'll give you back to Daniela. Unmute.
So exciting, Charles. And thank you so much. So with these exciting announcements from Charles, logically, you need the backing from marketing and communication. And with regards to marketing and communication, we engaged PR agencies, High 10 and Buxman. We took care of full website update. We arranged a Dine and Divine in Dubai for Dynex. We listed on Amazon Marketplace. We engaged in third-party database provider affiliations. We set up conference schedules. And we have ongoing announcements now coming throughout Q1, 2, 3, and 4. And having said that, I would love to hand over now to Clifford to give us a good insight into development and research, as if you see what we are using today with Dynex, which is publicly available, he is for sure the mastery of improving quality and reliability on a continuous basis. Over to you, Cliff.
Thank you, Daniela. So it's been a bit of a whirlwind couple of weeks. I've now officially joined Dynex rather than being just an independent. And my first official act was to make sure that our roadmap and development path is on course for what we want to do. So you can see there the first option in the list that we're going to announce is that we're updating the Dynex Solve white paper, not the Dynex paper, but the Dynex Solve paper. We realized that the white paper is pretty much outdated at the moment. And that will be going live from the very moment that this presentation ends. We've got it ready. We're going to upload that today, and that will go over all the new features of the Dynex Solve mechanism and algorithms. We feel that it's essential that we make sure that these sort of white papers are up to date, and that was one of the first things that had to get solved very quick. Along with that is the new Dynex Holders Incentive Program, or DHIP. We understand that not much information has been rolled out other than here's an informational pack, here's a registration form. Well, in Q1, you will see a new Dynex Holders Incentive Program area. This will allow you to fully check what you're going to be getting based on a calculator, as well as obviously being able to update your proof of reserves. And that's going to be in Q1. Along with that, obviously, we also understand that the GUI wallet is lacking the facilities at the moment to do the reserve proof. But we've been working tirelessly to get around the Windows Defender problem. We understand that it's a big issue for a lot of people, where Windows Defender will automatically delete the file. That is now very much on the path to the final road to having that finally sorted out once and for all. Along with this, though, it's coming for support for ARM-based CPUs, as well as Mac M1, M2, and I believe M3 is now slated as well to come out all in Q1. So, I mean, we know that there are still some features that are needing to be refined. And this is where the next item in the list comes in, which is the mobile wallet update. So that's going to allow you to do CSV exporting to help with your tax returns, as well as the password reset form. Now, obviously, a lot of people have been asking why it's took so long for that. It's just that there are some heavy security concerns around, obviously, password resetting. And thus, we had to make sure that that it was all, you know, secure, locked down, and made sure to be everything we need it to be without risk to anyone else that's maybe running a web wallet. That will be in Q2. However, I just missed I missed the important one, which is a lot of people have been asking for more statistics around what GPUs we're running, which is the most profitable, which is the most popular, which gives the most compute. Coming at the end of Q1 will be the new GPU dashboard. That will also have direct links into the Block Explorer and also the marketplace, but fundamentally it will have its own dashboard as well. We're wanting to be super transparent about this, about what cards we run, you know, how many of those specific card types we've got. And we think that the more statistics we give out, the more proof that we're running what we're running, the more you guys can also decide if you want to expand your networks. You'll be able to get a pretty big idea very quickly what are the most popular cards. And obviously that's slated for Q1. Hardware wallets. Now, we all know that OneKey shipped out their hardware wallets a little bit, shall we call, prematurely, before the software was quite fully baked. We're working tirelessly with OneKey to get that over the line very quickly. We can't give an exact date on this, but they assure me that they are heavily invested in getting this running. And the other one that obviously we do know that is on track and on course is Tangem. Tangem have been super professional with us. They've given us very clear deadlines that they're going to achieve, and everything from their end seems perfectly on track for their. I believe they said April was the release date for the Tangem. So obviously that's great news. It gives us cold storage options, and it's something that a lot of people have been wanting for some time now. So we're going to get that done, and we're going to get that pushed over the line. Obviously miners. Now, most people know that we periodically we will deprecate old versions. This is to make sure that obviously the data that those miners are giving back to us is the latest that we need it to be and the most accurate it can be. So what we're going to do is, as you can see on that list, every version that's not current is going to be basically deprecated, and that will leave us with one latest version of BZ Miner above version 20. I believe there's only one at the moment, but there might be a couple more. And then obviously 1.0 Miner. We're hoping that we can attract some more miners to develop for Dynex. That is a work in progress, though. We're not going to put that on the roadmap because that's not technically something we can control. We would love to, but we can't physically give you guys a date, and we feel that it would be irresponsible to put a date on that knowing that it's reliant on somebody else. So we are working on getting other miners, but we just need a bit of time to work with the miner devs to persuade them to give us a go. Obviously, that leads me on to Q2 and onwards. Q2 and onwards is going to be very busy for Dynex. We're setting up, as you can see there, it says minimum of one published paper per quarter. That's not just a normal white paper like we've been releasing. That is a full academic based white paper that will be peer reviewed, and we're aiming for at least one per quarter. If we can do more, then great, but we don't want to sacrifice the quality of the white papers just for the sake of putting them out. So between Q2 and Q4, you will see published papers keep coming out. Primarily, they'll be from the Dynex dev team, and Adam, no doubt, will be spearheading those published papers. So I'm looking forward to those. And then obviously, we know that there are still some bits in the marketplace that need some refinement. These will be going on in Q2. The refinements will be an enhanced expert job journey. So when you require an expert to be doing some work for you, rather than the backwards and forwards and a little bit stop and start with an expert, it will be more like a tendering process. You will type up a document that states what you need, or scope, as the right word is probably, and then obviously the experts can tender for those jobs, and you as the customer will be able to obviously decide who you choose. Along with that will be a more streamlined email customer communication. The customer communication, we know that we can automate a lot of this and take some of the slowdown that we've experienced, right? So initially, when you register, you would have to wait a few hours to be approved. We're slowly in the process of automating our customer communications. This will also allow us to email you guys with new and insightful documents that we think might be helpful. New information and news coming out from Dynex ourselves. And so automating the customer experience is obviously something we want to make sure that we're getting right. So there'll be a few tweaks as we go, as we learn what we can and can't push to the automated service, and whether or not we can. We don't want to be known for just spamming information. The information we send out to customers has to be worthwhile information to give out in the first place. So that's something that we're working on now. Now to the probably more exciting parts that everyone's probably seen and probably looking at it with a bit of a weird face, but BRC20 evaluation. Now, before everyone goes completely nuts and loses their mind over this is only an evaluation. We do not know if this is possible yet. We do not know if this is viable yet. This is only an evaluation. However, we are looking at seeing if we can augment some of the Dynex services on top of the BRC20 network. If it's possible, using a combination of wrap tokens and some very, very high level code, we might be able to have some interconnectivity with Bitcoin. This is it's one of the biggest evaluations I'm probably ever going to do in my life. It's going to be a complex evaluation, to say the least, but we want to make sure that if we are going to do something like this, that we can actually do something like this and it doesn't cause an impact on the network itself. I'm sure that other people will ask about ASICs. That is probably a question for a dev meeting. And I'll get to that very shortly. But the next bit, Dynex Layer 2 or LLM evaluation. We are looking at evaluating for large language models to run inside of the Dynex ecosystem. It's going to be a little bit trickier than most networks to run LLMs because obviously quantum-based systems do not really normally work with an LLM in a traditional sense. So we will be researching, evaluating, testing, potentially the use of some generic kernels that will allow us to actually harness LLM and maybe even a Dynex Layer 2 for that situation. And those two are both slated for Q2. We're not going to push those back to Q4 where most people would think that they go. we want to get those evaluated soon. We want to get them evaluated quickly, efficiently, and we want to be able to tell you guys updates on how those evaluations are going. And both of those are slated for Q2. Obviously, Q3 is probably the biggest upgrade coming. We are going to be running out a brand new test net that will basically test removal of the kryptonite hashing algorithm and pushing it inside of the POUW framework, what we call absolute entanglement. So you won't see where POW starts and POUW ends. It will be considered one. It still will use mechanisms from the kryptonite hashing algorithm, but it won't be traditional CN hashing. It will actually be wrapped up inside of the POUW. And that's going to go on testnet from Q3. I would suspect we'll run that into at least Q4, just because this is going to be one of the biggest upgrades to the network. And we want to make sure that 100% this is going to work. It's going to work effortlessly and does not impact the network at all. Along with the last two, obviously, encryption evaluation. We're always looking for the best level of encryption. We've got to try and stay one step of everyone else, right? Because at the end of the day, if we don't, then that's where problems will happen. Now, that's part of my remit as not just the head of ecosystem, but as the information security expert. And that's what my biggest goal will be this year, is to make sure that the encryption layers that Dynex uses are one step above everyone else. We want to push the boundaries of what is actually possible with encryption. And that may even be going into levels of quantum-based encryption methodology. And that is, for me, super exciting. For others, maybe not so much. But for me, it's probably the most exciting part that I'm going to be doing this year is working with new types of encryption evaluations. And that leads me on to the last item. The last item is something that we're very, very keen on doing. So once a month going forward from the end of next month, because we need a little bit of time to get everything set up, there will be a once a month Dynex developer live YouTube chat, which will have all of the comments unlocked and available so that people can interact with us and ask their questions. I will put this caveat in it, though, that if we get inundated with people thinking that they can interfere with it, we will soon lock down the comments and it will have to go in a different way. But for now, the idea will be is that we'll unlock it so that you guys can actually talk to the development team and be able to put some ideas across and get feedback on your ideas, as well as obviously hearing what's coming. So for me, this is a great way to show a little bit behind the curtain, so to speak. We want to introduce the team to the community. We want to introduce the community being able to give us ideas. We would like to, have that two-way dialogue with our community on a regular basis. And I think going forward once a month is probably a sensible bet. So with that, obviously that's the research and development side of the 2024 roadmap. And I'll hand it back over to Daniela. You're on mute again, Daniela.
Thank you. And yes, the last puzzle piece of the Dynex ecosystem is the Dynex Moonshots. Dynex Moonshots is the steward for investment strategic issues and ethical frameworks in the Dynex ecosystem. The mission of Dynex is to invest into groundbreaking solutions, which can be within research programs, can be businesses, or can be also grant programs designed to help the market innovate around making the world a better place. We are focusing mainly on 4 categories, which are society, nature, health, and space. To adhere to the ethical stewardship of Dynex Moonshots, we have an exciting announcement to make on the 2nd of April next week, where we will introduce stunning leaders, global leaders, that will be part of the ethical committee to oversee the ethical integrity of Dynex and quantum computing job inquiries that are requested to be reviewed. We are very proud to make that announcement and officially also launch